given that the subjects that you filmed lived in such a remote area, could you tell us how long it took you to basically film the entire thing, and how long you and your crew spent time in the Chilean salt flat?
Okay, and all the project was 5 years long. From the day we decided we were there and we decided we should do something here, until the day we finished the edition. That took 5 years approximately. But we weren't recording all the time, but went there like 2 to 3 times a year in different times to record the change in the weather and in the general conditions, because you had like rain time and etc. And in all there were like 4 to 5 months of recording. There were really hard conditions, more than 4,000 meters above the sea level. The first nights every time were very hard because you suffer from a lack of oxygen, etc. It was a very hard experience.
I think it's important to tell how we discover that place. We were making another film, News, and we were looking for a salt flat, okay? And we read in a book of history or something like that, where salt flat in Chile. We know in the north of Chile, but where specifically were salt flat, and we arrived to Surire, and we were amazing with the beauty of that place, okay? And we stayed 3 or 4 days, and we were in a little house of the State Department that take care the environment, okay? And there was a person who take care the environment and look through the window how were the trucks into the mine, into the salt flat, okay? And in the beginning we didn't know there was a mine, okay? And we just think, okay, this is a salad, okay? Salad, not salad, salt flat, okay? And days later we discovered that was a mine that was very good for make a film, okay? But we were making another film, and in the meanwhile we were looking through a window, and we discovered very far away, a line of trucks, but we didn't know where trucks, okay?
What you didn't tell is that that was a protected area.
Yes, it was a protected natural monument, okay? And it was incredible for us to see in the very far away these trucks, okay? And with Ivan thought, okay, this is good for make a film some days, but we didn't we wanted to make a film just about the mine and the trucks and the environment film. We want to discover another film that the film you see that you saw, okay, that obviously talk about the environment problem, but is not the kit of the film.
So, how did you find out about the elderly Aymara people living in that place? So, how did you discover that they also lived there, and how did you build the trust to be able to capture those authentic moments on camera?
Okay. In general, what we try to do when we begin a film is first to get the money to do it. And when we do that, we write a script, but it's not the real script. What we like to do is that the real research is during the shooting. So we discovered the characters during the real shooting. Before we invented some fiction characters that doesn't exist, but we really found Clara the second time we were there recording, and we asked the park ranger there who lived there, because you can see anyone. So he pointed that it was this elder woman. He warned us that she had a very strong character, and so we had to take care with her. And we went there the first time, we saw her, we saw her feet, her dogs, and Bettina takes these decisions. Bettina told she's our main character.
So we saw that Clara's dogs, they played like a very big role when it came to her character, and you also credited their names at the end of the film. And in your new film, Los Reyes, you capture like the story through the eyes of two stray dogs. So how could you sort of elaborate on like the challenges or tips if a person wants to capture or film animals or dogs? How would you make a documentary through the eyes of an animal?
Trying to be that animal, no. But first thing before Bettina is that even from our first film, we tried to portray or represent reality not in a traditional or conventional way, not buying what people want to say about people, and questioning reality and ways of portraying reality, etc. So in time we were letting the centrality of human beings and trying to put an eye on everything that formed the world where we live. And so Los Reyes is that the arriving point to that in order to make the main characters of a film dogs. That's the frame in which the answer to your question should be put. And Bettina, how do we?
I really don't think if we see the world through the eyes of two dogs or animals in general, but what I can say it's dogs or animals and things in general have their own codes, perspective and codes, okay, and relationships, and they are different kind of modes of existence. So for us it's very important to represent animals and another mode of existence without without humanize that animals, because since the moment you humanize that animal, you leave them their own nature, okay? We are not thinking for them. They don't want to interpret the codes, they just leave them alone with their own life, okay? And we not make cute films of dogs or animals, okay? And in general, human beings think that they are the center of the world, and they think they thought are thinking all this world, but they are limited about their own capacity to think the world. Okay, let's put animals or other things in animated things.
In each film, we study what will be the best way to frame that reality. It's not the same to do a film about humans than to do a film about dogs. You first of all need to get the camera lower, for example, because that's the level of reality of dogs. So these are things we prove, because for Los Reyes we began to shoot from a head height like you, and but we discovered that there wasn't the right visual connection in the framing. So to do this, you need to adapt to the way of the mode of existence you are working with.
And last thing is suggest or advice. We always give to students of audiovisual careers is, for example, in the case of Surire, when Clara cut the hair of the dogs, we really didn't say to Clara, cut the head of the dog, the hair of the dogs. It was something that surprised us, because we didn't know that the situation. So the suggest and advice we may make always to students is that you have to be prepared. You have un equipo,
a team.
It can be more person or less person. It's very good less person, and always have been talk with your team, the way to put the camera, and to be prepared to the
unexpected
things that always happen in the footage process, okay? And life have randomness, think that you must to be prepared to capture that random, because never will be the same, okay? And that's it.